Being alone is super important when it comes to healing and on your healing journey. When you allow yourself to not only be alone, but also surrender into your being and your storyline and what it is that you're trying to heal from, you really the reason why being alone matters so much is because you're the only person that can change your reality, your inner world. Because everything else is a reflection of what's happening inwards. So if you're trying to go outside of yourself through action and through other people's approval, through trying to force change instead of going with the flow, it's not going to produce the results that you want. Especially going into this year, if you are not comfortable with what has been going on, so what I'm referring to is the fire horse here, and it's just going to be this fast track of whatever it is that the story inwards that you're telling, and it's just gonna you're gonna just go straight forward into whatever it is you've been perpetuating, good or bad, and it's serving you in a positive way either way, right? But obviously you obviously don't want to be experiencing not the greatest experiences, but they're going to be serving you. So anyway, the point of being alone and meditating and healing and sitting with your emotions, your thoughts, your energy, your physical body is to become in tune and intertwined with who you truly are and understand what it is that you are truly not. That's ultimately what the physical reality experience is it's you experiencing yourself. It's you allowing to be in the contrast, to step into remembering who you truly are and how you've been conditioned to not be who you truly are. And being alone is a part of that. Because if you're not okay with being alone, if you're not willing to step out of all of the good and bad that's happening in your reality now, it's just going to keep going. You're not going to, you could leave people behind, but if you don't heal internally, you're just going to keep on attracting and perpetuating the stuff. Like, you can't go run off and hide in the forest because you're still going to be carrying all that weight with you. So embrace what's going on inwards because it's okay. It's okay to have, I talked about this in my last video, this undeniable, acceptance, acknowledgement of whatever it is that's happening because it's perfectly serving you. The imperfection is perfect because it's perfectly reflecting all it is that you believe about yourself. And you can't grow if you don't acknowledge the pain and all the other stuff. Because, well, life would be meaningless because you'd have everything you wanted if there was no obstacles, right? Experiences. It'd be kind of pointless because you'd just be perfect. You'd literally be perfect. You are perfect, but you're perfect in your imperfections. It's a little bit different. And you're also like a fraction of yourself of all that you are, because you are an all that is being that's eternal and infinite. And you are at the center of your all that is being, experiencing a physical reality experience. And experiencing yourself in this specific lifetime. But through healing, you're able to expand beyond that to a certain degree, obviously with physical limitations. Like, you're not going to be, going like non-physical. You're going to be bound to physicality for the most part. For meditating, you can definitely like tap into being energy. You are energy, but you're also a physical being. So that's one of the perks of healing. and being alone. Now, I'm not saying be lonely and like cut people off, like I said, because if you just like try and get up and run away from your problems, they're just gonna come with you. Because if you don't acknowledge, there's this Alan Watts quote that I came across. It was like, before you try and heal someone, you have to ask them if they're willing to actually let go of the sickness that made them sick in the first place. Are you willing to acknowledge and accept and let go and heal what it is that you chose to create in your reality? Or are you going to react and reject what it means ultimately to be yourself, to be connected, to be all that you are? It's almost paradoxical, actually. Because through the aloneness, you realize you've been perpetuating separation. And through the aloneness, you heal the separation to become connected, because you've always been connected. Because you're in all that is being, and you are literally in, like, your own fucking box of all that is reality, experiencing you in a 4D experience as whatever human life that you're living, but you're also able to access all that is, to a degree, obviously. And that's what capacity is cleansing away the bullshit that you believed and were conditioned in, and as well as past lifetimes, and allowing in the connection, the oneness, the truth of self, and healing all that. And that starts with acknowledging your bullshit and be willing to heal and know that it's serving you, your bullshit, to heal. Because that's what the magic is. That's literally what it is. And then being alone. And sitting in your shit. Sitting in your fucking shit, brother. So, yeah, I guess society's perception of being lonely and loneliness is, it has a positive perspective. It also helps if you're in hermit mode rather than like, because if you're not in hermit mode and you're denying your like, your purpose and passion, it's a little bit different. Because with the hermit mode comes the loneliness or aloneness. Loneliness and aloneness are different. But anyway, there's positivity to everything. And you could be optimistic and grow and blossom. Or you can see it as there's something wrong with you and you're not enough, and shame and guilt yourself and not trust the process and who you truly are. But ultimately, all the fear, sadness, and everything else is guiding you and just showing you. Ultimately, your ego yapping is showing you the polarity of you shining into your true self. And what I mean by that is that, like, if something comes up, like you try something new, you try painting or drawing, and you're hearing, I'm not good enough, this is not going to turn out good, like, I suck at this, whatever the first, whatever comes up, there's a polarity of you, and that's your truth. I'm not enough, and it's actually, I am good enough, and that I am capable of doing this, and this actually brings me joy, and I've just been denying it because of whatever condition and wound that connects with us. So, this wisdom is feasible. You understand this, but there is a knowing behind it. And that only comes from being alone within yourself. Because you could read a fucking book and understand the world, but then there's going on a journey and experiencing who you truly are and being yourself. And that's knowing.